Hello,
Hi,
Angela.
Angela. Hello, hello. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Miranda Dennis, and I am privileged to bring to you all a wonderful young lady that I met probably 2 years ago, maybe three at this point. I can't even remember. Miss Shenell Latham. She is a serial entrepreneur. She is a wife, a mother, an author, and she can tell you a little bit more about herself. But I wanted to take out some time to speak with our singles. We have a session tonight. We also have another session on Monday, and I'll drop that registration link for that session on Monday if you would like to join us for that. We're going to be talking about this famous list of qualities and characteristics that you want in a spouse. But we also want to
Mm,
talk about what happens when you make that list
right.
and the person comes along, but it ain't the person for you. So we're gonna talk about that on Monday. But tonight we have a lot to talk about. Chanel showed me her notes. She's got pages of notes, y'all. I sent her a few questions. She got pages. So, but we are going to try to get it all in. And we will go from there. Again, I'm Miranda Dennis. Some of you may or may not know me. I'm the owner of Oasis Clinical Counseling Services. I'm also an Amazon bestselling author. My book is called Single and Faithfully Expecting, Living Your Best Life as a Christian Single. So if you haven't gotten that, feel free to hop over to Amazon and check that out. Actually, I'll be dropping the link of both of our books in the chat, so you'll have access to that. And yeah, we are ready to rock and roll. So let's do it. Chanel, say hi. Tell us a little bit about
Okay.
yourself.
All right. Well, my name is Shenell Latham. I've been married to my wonderful husband for 8 years, but I've actually known him since we were children. We have a blended family that consists of 6 children, and we own 7 small businesses in the Hampton Roads area. I met Miranda because I'm a bookkeeper and I help her out from time to time. So that's how
So
we
if you
met.
need help getting your finances together for your business, make sure you connect with Chanel.
Yes. But my passion is marriage. I feel like it's what I'm supposed to do in life. Help people stay married is really what I try to do. But I wrote a book about submission because I was a rebellious wife who did not understand that being submitted was a requirement. And I was like that, and I had that belief because of how I was raised. I was raised to be a strong, independent woman, and I met this man, and it was 2 men in the house, and we was butting heads. So the Lord told me I was out of order. He set me down, told me I had to get myself together because I was blocking the blessings of my family. And
Mm.
yes, it's that serious, y'all. So that's how I came to write. I want to submit, but so it is a 5-day devotional, and it's for wives, but I also feel like it'll be good for anybody who is a fiance or even wants to be married, because as much as the world wants us to believe that you can be strong, you can be independent, and you can, but you can't be that at the house. It has to be some type of leadership in order at the house. And this is just about the 5 reasons I believe most women struggle with submissions. I think it'll be a good book for people to read.
Excellent. Thank you. And I put that link in the chat.
Thank
You
you.
were able to get her book right on Amazon. It'll come right to you. And so definitely you want to make sure to grab those resources, because a lot of times as singles, sometimes you feel like at a loss. What to do? How do I prepare? Like, I want to be married, but what does that look like? And all too often, I'm sorry, people are waiting until they get married
Yes.
in order to try to live a married life or to be the wife or the husband that God has designed them to be. So grab these resources, utilize them. I do have a recommended book list as well. So if you all want that list, what I'll probably do is I'll send that out, and maybe a follow-up email to everyone, because I'm gonna try and put that in the chat. It's a PDF, so I don't know if you'll be able to get it, but I'll put that in the chat just in case, if you want to see the other recommended books that we do have as suggestions to read in your journey of the season that you're currently in. So I am so excited, y'all. I can't wait. So while you're here, feel free, if Shenell says something, or something, you have a question that we haven't addressed, please feel free, drop it in the comment. The chat box, we'll both be able to see it and we can respond to your question. So the first question that I have, and I'm sure other people have, dating in 2020 is not the same as dating even, I would say, 10 years ago, let alone 20 years ago. I'm about to be 40. So 20 years ago is a lot different than what we're facing currently in 2020. So do you have any advice that you would say to someone who's, wanting to date, wanting to get married? What should they do or look for in this current scene that we're in?
I think that you should definitely be open to unconventional ways of meeting people, right?
Okay.
We do almost everything virtual now. So I know people kind of shied away from online dating. I think that might be kind of the only option left here in a little bit. um, Speed dating. I think me and Miranda, I think we talked one time about doing a Christian speed
You
dating.
know what? We never did
We did. I
that.
still have all the stuff. I'm ready. But anyway,
No, we might have to do a Christian speed dating.
that's what I'm
Virtually,
saying.
a virtual speed dating.
I can work it out.
Kim said she about to shout. Kim said, "Put your mask on."
Yeah, so you're just gonna have to be open.
Okay, you gotta be open. You gotta be flexible.
You gotta be flexible.
Not so rigid in the mind.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Sadria, oh, my cousin is on here also. She said yes. And Stephanie says she would love to do that. Okay, we got some interest. We'll see what we can do. Okay. All right, y'all. Sorry, go ahead. I'm interested now. Come on, girl, bring it. No.
That's all I had. That's really all I had. You're just gonna have to be open. I know sometimes we get a type in our mind,
Right.
like who we're looking for, what we want them to look like, how much money they want them to make. We want them to make. Listen, my husband didn't have a car and was sleeping at his friend's house when I met him. Me, I've been out working, had my own apartment since I was 18 years old. Like I was stable, but I saw something in him. So I could have let that hold me back that he don't have a car, but he had a business and he was working on it. He had all this great stuff going on, but financially he wasn't where I was expecting somebody to be. But I'm glad I hung in there.
Yeah. Because you partnered together. So you complement the areas that he's maybe not as strong at, and he complements the areas maybe that you need help in and support. You balance each other out. And just even kind of sticking with that. And I know this is not a question I previously had said to you, but what do you say to the person who says, okay, I'm tired of dating potential, right? Like I see the potential, but every time I put all my energy, all my effort into someone to date potential, because I see that they could be a great man of God, they could be a great woman of God, but they don't have this, they don't have some of my basics.
So I believe in action, right?
Okay.
So if I come to you and I say, hey, listen, I see that you say you want to go to church and you want to get your relationship with God, right? But you ain't been to church.
Okay.
So let's start going to church. Let's see if when you can present something to them, if they work on it. Because that's better than potential. That's you're putting some effort and some action into it.
Okay. Angela said this is her issue. So, okay, now I got another question. Now, y'all put y'all questions in there too now. So, because, I'm with Angela, like that's the part that I run into often myself. Is like, I'm not bragging, but I have my own, and it's not perfect, but God has helped me obtain certain things, right, in life. And so I don't want to, I struggle with how much to be flexible with some of those standards. So obviously there are some standards that are just, listen, bruh, you don't meet these, so you don't even have an opportunity.
Right.
But how do you differentiate between lending a hand or encouragement, and then this person is just taking advantage of me and I'm wasting my time.
I think that once you present something to somebody and you give them maybe a plan of action, because maybe that's what's been holding them back. Maybe he doesn't know how to fix his credit. Maybe he doesn't know how to update his resume so that he can get a better job. Once you help, encourage, and help him put this stuff together, and then nothing happens, this is going on, move on. Like, don't keep
Okay.
waiting for other signs. Like, that was a great sign. You
Because he
don't
didn't do
you don't have
nothing
no
with it.
follow up. Right.
Okay. All right. And so what if they only start doing things because you have set the plate for them and they just come to the table and eat? You did all the hard work and preparation of doing the budget, doing the resume. Come on now, because that's hard. Because he's doing it, but is he doing it because is just trying to get past this initial stage, or is that a character flaw? That's a hard one,
That's a
right?
hard one. Yeah. Because it's
So
just you just gotta look at them in every situation they got. So if I help you get yourself together over here and you still ain't paying your child support over here, you know what I'm saying?
that's an
Like,
issue. That's a
these
character
these
flaw.
are these are choices you're making. Like, you're choosing not to do the right thing.
Okay,
And I
that
don't
makes
know.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I'm
All
hitting you with
right.
some hard ones. So okay, now everybody want to be married. Everybody wants to have a happy marriage. They want to have the
Mm,
$10,000 wedding, the big dress, all the Bora Bora vacation, but they didn't do the work before. So,
right.
do you recommend premarital counseling, and why?
I absolutely positively demand that you go to premarital counseling. If I'm talking to somebody, they are not married, they so in love and they thinking about getting married, you should go, right? Because what
Mhm.
premarital counseling does is it's you, your spouse, and this other person, right? Or two other people. And they ask you questions that you would have never thought to ask, right? They'll make you dig into your childhood. It'll be a lot of self-reflection. They're going to talk about money, if you're
Mhm.
going to, how you're going to discipline the children. It's a lot of stuff that comes up in premarital counseling that we don't have deep conversations about when we're dating
True.
because we're so in love. So
Right.
yes, I do. I believe you
Okay.
should.
So, okay, what how would you what if one person is willing and the other person hasn't even thought about it or doesn't think it's necessary? How do you bring up the conversation of, I think, and maybe you're not even engaged or you are thinking you're talking about the engagement. How do you bring that up as something that you feel is healthy to do?
Um, I think I would ask, listen, so we're thinking about taking this a step further, right? I want us to start off on a great foot, right?
Okay.
Let's go talk to other people who aren't our friends and family who already know our business. And let's map stuff out. This will help us come up with a plan for our marriage.
Okay. You said the key words, somebody that's not our friends
Yes,
or
yes,
family.
yes,
So let's talk about that. Do you have any
yes.
suggestions of how do you select a good fit for marriage counseling? Because a lot of people say, my church does premarital counseling, or they don't even consider it. I read an article that talked about the number of people that do not even consider premarital
Mm.
counseling. So, how do you suggest someone would find a good premarital counselor?
So I guess it depends on, uh, do do both of you have the same beliefs, right?
Okay.
It's very possible a Christian and a non-Christian can be together, right? So if
Mm-hmm,
you're not
mm-hmm.
going to, if that's the issue, then just go to a regular uh, mental health practice. They do
Okay.
that, that's
Mm-hmm,
not
mm-hmm.
faith-based.
Yeah.
We went to Regent University. They have this thing called the Hope Project.
Hmm.
So the first time we went, it was two women. Okay. Okay. So that didn't work. Because he felt like at sometimes all the women were
He
on
was
my
ganging.
side.
Y'all were ganging up on him.
So
Poor Darren.
I said, okay, so we can't do that. I'm sorry, my
Mhm.
phone is ringing. That phone never rings. That's a landline.
I don't hear anything.
Um, okay. The second time we went to a husband and a wife.
Okay.
and they are pastors.
Okay.
And I think that the balance of having a man and a woman, we both could be explained the other person's perspectives. Like
Okay.
pastor could talk to me and I could receive it from him because I'm like, so he's not angry and he's just really telling me from a man's perspective. And
Mhm.
then first lady isn't snappy because she's not connected to the issue. So she was able to explain my feelings and my emotions. So
Mhm.
I think it's best to go to a man and a woman, whether they're married or not. I think it's
Yeah.
good to have a balance.
Yeah. And and one of the things that I think a lot of times people forget is the balance part.
Yes.
So if you only have someone who knows who you are and they only know your side of the
Yes.
story or your perspective, then there may be some bias. Not all the time, but
Not
there
all
very
the
well
time, but
could be
nine
some
times out
bias.
of 10, yes.
Right. And sometimes what happens is, especially if you go to someone that you both know, and granted, hopefully if you're getting premarital counseling, the person is a professional and some level of respect of privacy. But
Yeah.
like you said, when you're in premarital counseling, like you're dealing with the things, you're laying all the cards on the
Yes.
table, your dirty laundry is out there for people to see. And so after, you don't want to feel embarrassed that we
Yes.
address these things, and in the back of somebody, in the back of their mind, they remember that argument that
Yes.
happened and they're holding a grudge. So I think an unbiased person is
Absolutely.
so important.
So important.
um Anything else you want to add on the premarital counseling and the importance of that? I know you got some notes over there.
I do want to say that you should go to premarital counseling, right? But it is also good to have a set of people, friends, associates, or someone else that you can just go to and talk to because date nights are important once you get married. Like have a group of friends, a community of people who have the same idea for marriage. They want to stay married. So, because sometimes you can't get straight to a counselor when you're having an issue. You need to have
True.
one or two people you could pick up the phone that's going to say, no, ma'am, you did wrong, or no sir, you need to fix that. Other people need to be able to hold you accountable when you're married outside of a
Mm,
counselor. Yes.
okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting because I've always heard, well, you don't let people into your marriage. So that's
Nah.
an interesting perspective that you're like, like you need accountability from
Yes.
other. And a key thing you said, did y'all hear that? She said other couples who want to stay married.
Yes.
Don't talk to somebody who doesn't want you
Or is
to
going through
be.
a divorce or something. No, they're not thinking clear. No, it's
That's a
just like
very
that.
valid point. That's a good
Yes.
point. Absolutely. Wow. Thank you for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, some of the important things you mentioned that get discussed in premarital counseling, talking about money.
Mhm.
How important is that to talk about money before you get married? How important do you think that is?
I feel like you should be talking about money when you're dating.
Okay, okay,
I do. Make
okay.
it a game. Like you need to know this person's spending habits. You need to know how much emphasis they put on making money. Like is making money like their top priority, or is it
Okay.
like I just want to have enough money to take care of my family? Because it's a
Different
different shape.
mindset.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. So you need to ask that. You need
Yeah.
to ask them things like, "Do you believe in YOLO? You only live once, or can you wait and save for a vacation?" Like you gotta ask these questions like early on to know.
I hear and I've seen both sides of this issue. Some people are afraid to ask the money questions too early because they feel like, well, that's a private thing and I don't want to invade their privacy. I want to respect them. I don't want them thinking I'm a gold digger.
Right.
When is a good time to bring that up?
I don't think
I
that
mean,
you
not
should be
the
asking
second date,
anybody.
but
I don't think you should be asking anybody that you're dating how much they make.
okay.
But maybe try to figure out their spending habits. Like ask them questions like, do you like to cook or do you want to eat out all the time? Because eating out all the time that's a whole deal. When I
Yeah.
first got married to Terrence, I got his books together and he had spent like $1,300 on food in 1 month.
Oh no.
No, ma'am. No. I need to
No.
see. That was a good question. I needed to know. He don't like to cook.
So
So
this is
I don't know. I think asking the amount
okay.
is a little too personal, like when you're dating. But if we talking about getting married, yeah, because we need to be sharing bank accounts and we need to know who's the saver, who can be responsible for the bills, and who is gonna be, we need to have joint accounts. So we're gonna have to talk
Mm.
about
Now,
money.
some people don't like that joint account
Um,
thing.
Me and all my husband accounts is together. Every single last one of them. We have like 10. Every single last one of them is together.
Wow, that's unusual. I'm gonna, at least from the people that I've been talking to, they're like, no, we can have a joint account, but I need my own
But
over
neither
here
one of us
just in
are
case.
spenders. We don't
Okay.
spend like we don't.
Dr. Park said, I don't know about them joint accounts.
I don't know. It's
I
you gotta do what works for your
look,
house. That
I'm
works for
twitching a little
my
bit.
house.
I'm twitching. I don't know. Jesus. No.
Yeah. You gotta do what works for your house. Having all the accounts together works for my house. It makes it easier.
But and that's also part of your submitted wife thing too, right? That
Yes.
you're talking about. It's like you got to be able to trust the plan that God has
Absolutely.
for your home, and
Yes.
part of that is submitting to whatever that mission looks like
Yes.
for your family. So that
Yes.
makes sense. Um, so yeah, I in this day and age, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest. I plan on having my own separate account, but I don't mind joint. I don't mind joint accounts.
Most
Um,
people do like a joint account where all the bill money goes, and then they
yeah,
have a separate account.
yeah, yeah. And my heart feel a little bit better with something like that. Again, because we just don't
Cause you
know.
worried about your husband spending money. What's going on?
No, no, no.
Why do you have to have your own?
I do believe in having at least one joint account.
Yes, most people do that.
Dr. Parr says she need her own. Kim says she's heard both as well. So valid question. Why are you marrying someone that you don't fully trust to
Yeah.
have all of your finances connected?
Yes.
I just had an attorney on call just in case.
You can't have no just in case when you get married. That plan B got to go.
That means he's not the one that you got to have an
That's really
attorney.
how I feel. If you gotta have a
Listen,
backup plan, he shaky.
ooh, man, listen. Stephanie said that's right. You don't know if the person is sneaking around on you. That's true. Talking about having talking about for the bank account, having an attorney. Yeah, and so somebody recently asked me, I have a business. I started with in my current status. I'm not married, and they asked me. They were like, "Well, Miranda, are you going to get a what is it
A
prenuptial
prenup.
prenup agreement?" And I was like, honestly, I don't know. I don't know because here's the thing. Before my business, that would have been a hard no. That would have been a hard no.
Right.
Um, but now that I'm thinking of like I got to keep my business separate than what's going on over here, I think about money and things a little bit different, right? But I also said I would be offended if he
Thank you.
asked me
Absolutely.
to.
Yes, you would. You
I
absolutely
would
would.
be so heated if
Yes.
I was required to sign a prenup. So I had to do a little self-assessment. Like, Miranda, you're being unreasonable. How can I be offended at something I'm not willing to do?
Right.
I almost had to slap my own self. Like, that doesn't make sense. Dr. Parker said, I will be getting a prenup. And listen, I understand that I have my own business and have been managing my finances. Yeah, and that's, it's like, and one time when I'm a homeowner and my family had asked me, they were like, so when you get married, are you putting your husband on the deed? I was like, no, I'm not. But again, I have to, I have to have those tough conversations with myself. But that's something we don't have to talk about in premarital counseling, and we're not a
Absolutely.
prayer and fasting. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a firm yes or no. I I I think it's important if I'm going into this marriage and I'm thinking this is something I want to last, then I don't feel like it's right to have those just in case we don't work
Absolutely.
out, because that undercurrent is going to undermine your marriage.
Yes, it
At
is.
the same time, given the day and age that we live in, people are out there completely lost and devastated, don't even know how to balance a checkbook because they did not do those things on their own. So I don't have a firm answer.
It's definitely a question to discuss with. I mean, because what if you meet this wonderful man and you so in love, and this is the breaking thing. He is not signing a prenup. You're gonna let your potential husband go away. Like that's a question that would come up in premarital
Yeah,
counseling.
and that's why premarital counseling
Yes, because if
is
he don't want to
important.
sign a prenup, y'all gonna break up before we gotta pay to get a divorce. Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Um, was unfortunately a lot of people took the route of trusting their spouse, and yet they did them wrong with the finances, right? And I think that's the hard part, is like, how do I trust God but also be smart about it and not fall victim to something like this? Because I know plenty of people, women in church, good women, they love their husband, completely submitted, didn't they never, some of them didn't, went right from their education, got married, started having kids, and then he's gone. You got 5 kids now,
My
and you
goodness.
ain't never worked a day in your life. So it's a scary situation that has to be dealt with prayer. It's real. It's life. It does
Yeah,
happen
it does happen.
in the church and out of the church. So I think this is a good conversation.
It
We may not
is.
have the answer for everybody here, and if you're dating and you want to be married, this is real talk stuff we
Yes,
need to absolutely make sure we're addressing. um,
absolutely.
Dr. Park says, as an older single, so I don't oh I'm an older single, so I don't have time for someone to mess up my financial plan, right?
I understand that.
That's so what do you how do you encourage? Okay, let me, because we might not have, as Stephanie says, yep, she understands about this because this has happened to her 2 times. Wow, amen, better days are coming. How do you encourage an older single who, or a person who's been through this, and they are nervous about turning that portion over completely, not doing a prenup, doing complete joint accounts? Because part of it is a trust thing.
It is.
How would you just encourage them? What could be something that would help them?
I would. So there's a way to go about everything, right? So I love Terrence. I do. I do. But I have paperwork. So if something was to happen, okay, I'm gonna be all right. Okay.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think it's maturity, right? So
Okay.
if we're gonna go get married, and I have this over here and you have this over here, right? If Even if we don't want to call it a prenup, I think it's a way to go sit somewhere with someone like an attorney or something, and lay out some guidelines or something.
Okay.
A prenup to me, I wouldn't ask anybody to sign one. I don't care what I had accomplished, because I'm not signing one.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause I don't know. I just feel like that put up a wall already in the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And it is. It looks like a lack of trust. So if I
Yeah.
have to do this, sign this piece of paper saying you're protecting yourself from your stuff, your assets and stuff from
Mm-hmm.
me, I don't trust you. And in your mind, somewhere in the back of your mind, it's a possibility we might break up. Why are
Mm-hmm.
we why are we getting married?
Yeah.
Just stay separate. Like you have to there's it's a lack of unity in marriages already. So I think adding a prenup to it is,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that makes it, like you said, it makes it the
It's going to
trust.
be there. Yep, that
Yeah,
trust is going
yeah,
to be there. So
absolutely.
we got a couple comments that I missed. Cece says, I think both should have separate accounts to do what they want with their money without being questioned and watched. That money was probably there before they came along, like the other person came along. Christina says, there are times where the signs are there. We choose to ignore them because of emotions. Ooh, can you talk
I
about
believe
that?
that. I believe
Yeah.
that.
Yep. And yep, I think we've all ignored the signs. Again, because we're looking at someone else's marriage, or somebody else is getting married before we are, or I'm supposed to have this by a certain age or a certain time
Yeah.
in our life, and we're so in love that we missed the important things to address. So absolutely, I think that's so important, Christina. Thank you
when
for putting that out.
when you see something, when somebody does something that bothers you, let's say it's your first little rift, right? You get in an argument with them and they like go off. That is how they handle arguments. Like it's a lack of communication, and they don't have any self-control like that. Don't skip that
Mhm.
sign because they don't know how to have a conversation. I think, like she just said, we gotta stop ignoring the signs. It was a lot of stuff being Terrence missed because we was just so in love. We just wanted to get married. Like it wasn't good. My first like 5 years of marriage was rough. It
Mhm.
was rough
Mhm.
because we didn't take the time to get to maybe they do need anger management, or maybe
Yeah.
they need to learn how to communicate. I really think it's a
Yeah.
lack of communication. I don't think most people understand what real communication is.
I agree. I don't
Yes,
think people know, they're so disconnected from their own self and
yes,
their own individuality.
yes.
It's hard to be able to relay to someone else what you're really truly thinking and
Yes.
feeling because you don't even know for
You
yourself
don't even know for
because you didn't
yourself.
even do your own work. So it's difficult, right? Then the additional part of it is I communicate all the time. I'm a pretty good communicator, I think. I say what I mean what I say. It is what it is. I'm nice sometimes, but I have experienced in relationships that I'm communicating, but the comprehension of what
Mm.
I'm saying is the problem because they're hearing something different from their own life, their own experience,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
And you can talk about that a little bit, but and also we can start tying that into the next question about knowing, more discussing in more details your thoughts and views on how to know and learn those triggers from the past.
Yes. So the communication has been my biggest issue in my marriage because I don't like to talk, and my husband wants to talk about everything. Okay, so it's just we had to learn in counseling that you have to not use accusatory words.
Mm,
You can't say things like you never or you don't do this. You have to say I feel or I believe or I think. You have to use words like that when you present a conversation to somebody. It has
yes.
to be the right time. So you can't talk to me when I just got off work, the kids running around, I gotta cook dinner. It's not the time to come to me and talk. I don't talk to my husband right when he just get off work. We wait until all the children are down, and when we ask, are you open to have a
Okay.
conversation right now? And
Good.
if they say no, you have to be okay with them saying no as well,
Hmm.
because they know themselves. This is
Right.
not gonna go good right now if I have this conversation with you.
Right. Right.
Um, but my husband, mom's died when he was 10, right? So
Okay.
I knew that, and he's a big, strong man. He didn't care.
Mm,
In my mind, she's been gone so long, it's not a big deal. But that left him with some like abandonment stuff.
mhm.
So I would, every time we got in a fight, would be like, I'm about to go. I want a
Mm,
divorce. Like, and
mm.
then I pack my stuff up, I leave. And that was just like, it's
Wow.
happening to me again,
All over again.
all over again.
Mm, mhm.
So he would talk to me and he would like lecture me.
Okay.
Well, my dad used to lecture me. So it felt
Ah,
like my dad all over again. So I had to bring myself down. I was shut down. I finally told him, listen, you're talking at me, not to me.
okay.
So you just gotta know, you really gotta know your spouse's childhood and take all
Mhm.
that into consideration. All the hurt, all the trauma that they had from other relationships that has built them into this person that you're going to get.
Right.
And if
That's true.
nobody has gone to counseling, you got to break through all that mess.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Absolutely. Angela was saying communication is difficult right now. Do you mean because of having to not being able to be in close proximity to people because of COVID, or just saying like just making a statement that is difficult? Kim said, yes, go to therapy
Yes,
now as a
yes.
single. Absolutely. Please, please. Therapists need therapy. I've been to therapy. I'm not ashamed to say it.
I go to by
Lord,
myself and with him. I do. Like,
listen. it's life.
Because I'm
This
crazy.
is
I didn't
life.
realize I was crazy because when I first got married, I was like, oh, it's him.
That was
Oh, it's
crazy.
him. God, you better get your son. Like, you better get him. This is not me.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
went to counseling and I signed us up, right? And I said, I'm gonna go and let somebody get him straight. Because I done prayed,
Mm-hmm.
I done read the Bible, I done did all my work. I'm
Man,
good. I went to counseling and they told me I was a witch, y'all, for manipulating and trying to control my husband. I said, that ain't, you gotta
wow.
show me the scripture. He pointed it right out
Wow.
to me. I said, okay, all right. You gotta take that and
Mm,
you gotta go, like, are you controlling? And I
that's
found out I
good.
was controlling. So I asked my girlfriend, you think I'm controlling? She was like, yes. I was like, really? She was like, we gotta go where you wanna go eat at. We gotta do what you wanna do. I said, you've been my friend almost 10 years. Why haven't you said
Wow, she never
something?
said anything. Yeah, yeah.
So but also be open to believe you the problem. And you may have
Mm,
some issues that you need to work on.
mm. That's
Yes,
hard to do. It's necessary.
it's
It's
necessary.
necessary. Angela says, when I meet guys now, they want to text. Let's, oh my goodness. But when we get on the phone, it's like, oh, somebody commented. So, okay, wait a minute, where'd it go? Okay, it's like they don't know what to say, and she's a talker. Okay, I have been the problem. Yeah, I've been the problem too before, Angela. I know I have. I'm working on it. We should
Me
all be
too, all
working
the
on it.
time.
We are all a work in progress.
Progress. That's
None of us
it.
have arrived and will not arrive until Jesus come back.
That's it.
But the communication. So, like we talked about earlier, right now we have to be flexible with how we are connecting with people. So, you mentioned virtually, we might do some type of singles mixer virtually, but using apps, swipe left, swipe right, all of this stuff, they can do this phone, but can't hold a conversation. How do you have any suggestions for how to have a conversation with someone who maybe is a thinker but they don't say very much, or they're just not a talker, but these are the things we're talking about are really important to discuss, but they might give one word answer or they might not know what to say. Any suggestions on that?
I don't know because I believe when it's like chemistry there, y'all have a lot to talk about. I could be wrong though. See,
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for that because you're gonna
Okay.
have to call me. You can't text me. I need to talk to you. I need to
So
see if
have
you
those
can.
boundaries.
Yeah,
Have
you
those
need to
boundaries.
articulate. I need to see if you can articulate. I need to see if you can say street without a K. Like it's stuff that I need to know. So I need to have a phone conversation with you. We have to talk on the phone.
We have to talk on the phone. And something that I also have learned that has been really helpful. It's okay to ask a question and let the question hang in the air, right?
Okay.
Because if you ask a question and then you talking, and you answering your own question,
Yes.
well, you ask the question and then, like I've been doing, I ask the question and tell you what I think, and then let you talk. Like getting to know someone, that's not going to work because
Right.
you're getting to know yourself. Like
That's
you're asking the question and answering. So it's okay to say like, hey, what do you think about is it important to have a monthly budgeting meeting when we're dating or when we're married? Is that something that's important to you? And wait,
yes.
because he might say, oh yeah, that's cool, we can do that. Just wait, okay. But that's hard for especially women. That's hard for us. Kim said, I do this all the time. Ask the question and let it hang. Ask the question. Give time and space for an answer. It's okay to let it hang.
But what if they don't have an answer?
Now that's a good question. So then, again, because I like to, I ask a lot of questions. I do. I ask a lot. I personally ask a lot of questions. I don't know what kind of questions y'all got, but even when, like, listen, I make it a game. I have a box. I got all these questions that I have from all over the years, and we're gonna pull out a question and we're gonna talk about this. So now again, I'm not controlling like Shenell, y'all. No.
The Lord has released me of control. I'm not controlling anymore. And we
Amen.
thank him. Yes.
Amen. But you have to. For me, I think it's important, and I've said this before in the past, and in relationships that I've been in, like, hey, I am a communicator, and in order for us to build something of
Yes.
value and substance, we have to learn how to communicate with one another. I'm a firm believer of the five love languages.
Me too.
I'm a
I give it
firm
to
believer.
I send it to everybody. I ask them, do you know your spouse's love language? Like, it is so important.
Yes, it is.
It
So if
is so
they're not
important.
responding to my question, then am I communicating in a way that they understand? And am I communicating, like you said, is this a good time for that particular question?
Right.
But also, am I communicating it in their love language?
Yeah.
Because if I'm standing there arms folded and I'm doing all this, but their love language is words of affirmation, I'm not
That
getting
is not
anywhere with
gonna
that
work. Not at
conversation.
all.
I'm
Yes.
not getting anywhere. So, oh, we got a couple comments. Okay, I have oh, I have a lot of questions as well. I have cut some stuff off because only text messaging. Right? That's listen.
I
That's
understand that.
I understand. Keep mental notes. If someone shows interest in you, leads you on, conversation is great, and then they completely stop. Do you ask them why or just let it go? That's a great question.
I would ask them, hey, so I haven't heard from you in a couple of days. I'm just calling to see if everything's all right. Oh, I just been work, I just been busy or whatever. If they blow you off again, because the first time they blew you off is when they stopped talking to you. So if they blow you off again, it's just like, oh, I'm busy, because people make time for what they want to have, what they want. So at that point, I think I would just let it
Yeah, yeah. And ghosting is unfortunately a real thing.
go.
And
Really,
it is an answer. Ghosting is an answer. They don't want to talk. That's your answer.
that is your
Um,
answer.
and I mean, there's nothing we don't like it.
Silence is definitely a
I've
response.
been ghosted. And I ain't gonna lie, I have ghosted some people. I'm not interested. I already told you I wasn't interested, but at least I tell them, listen, no, I'm not interested in talking more than friends. And you still pressure me. I don't have to communicate to you.
Right.
So I have done that, but I also have been on the other end, just gone, gone.
Kim
Like
said she
wow.
blocked me too. They gone.
But I do like your suggestion. And again, if it's somebody like I'm in a relationship with and things seem to be going well, of course I'm going to be curious. Like Christina
Yes.
said, I'm like you said, I'm going to call like, hey, is everything okay? Did something happen to you?
Right.
And then they still don't respond,
Right.
then absolutely
Yeah.
free yourself
Free
from
yourself.
that bondage of worry,
Yes.
concern, and disrespect, because that's what that is.
Absolutely.
Value yourself, value your limits. It's okay. God bless you, love you, peace out, is cool. And then release yourself and be ready for what God really has for you.
Absolutely.
You sisters preaching good today. If they don't answer but offer friendship, then what? So okay, so the person
Oh,
they
that's your decision then. You
okay.
can make a choice whether to be their friend or not. I mean, but know yourself. Like if you wanted to be more than friends with this person and that's not what they want, just cut it off. Because you'll be in your feelings. That's what
Mhm.
I mean, I've been there before. I got put
Yeah,
in the friend zone and I'm
yeah.
like, I still like him. And he got me in the friend zone. So, I don't want to be bitter.
I don't want to be bitter because a lot of times, and you can and our friend zone guys, and they've told me, I still want to meet you, bro. I'm not interested. I said, I'm not even gonna lie, y'all gonna laugh at me, but I said to one guy one time, I was like, I want to be crystal clear. There will never be a chance for us to date. I'm not interested. I never will be interested. where's the confusion in that? I'm a very good communicator, but they wanted to keep this
Yes.
attachment and be nice and send hi, good morning text messages, how's work, all this nice stuff in hopes that I would turn it around.
Yeah.
So if, and again, this goes both ways. So if you are allowing yourself to be in the friend zone, often it's because you want to keep that connection in hopes that it
Yeah.
would turn around.
Absolutely.
But like Shenell said, you're opening yourself up for bitterness,
Yeah.
disappointment. You've got to be careful. Cut those things off. Absolutely. Yeah, y'all lighting the comments up tonight. I can't even keep up. Oh, Christina said she was about to ask the same question because if they were okay, right. If they were the hunter, like if the person was chasing you and then all of a sudden they ghosted. So she must have got her answer for that
Okay.
one as well. Kim says, I've been on both sides. Then we are accused of being mean or those women. Well, there are stories that work. Yeah, there are stories that worked when the women didn't have nothing to do with the guy first. Yeah, that's true. So,
Yeah,
right.
that's
She
true.
didn't
But
want nothing.
I kind of feel like you still like them a little bit. You see something in them a little bit. Because can't nobody just wear you down till you just marry them. I don't believe that. I believe a little bit of you was like, oh, I like him, but this, and then as the
Mm-hmm.
years go on, that but went away. And then it was
Yeah,
like, all
yeah,
right, let me give him a shot. I
yeah.
just don't, yeah. I can't
That's
believe you look
that's
at
true.
somebody and be disgusted with him, and then one day you like, oh my God, I love him. Like, no.
Yeah, they got the COVID eyes. That's what they got that desperation. Listen, he look good today. Didn't look good 10 years ago. No.
Right.
So right, we have to know ourselves and be honest with ourselves. And if it's a no, then it's a no. I would even go further that if somebody is wearing you down, then maybe the rationale you had in the beginning was weak rationale. It wasn't it wasn't a good reason. Like Chanel said, you may have been interested in the person, somebody talking in your ear, you're
Yes.
getting older,
Yes.
you might as well go ahead and settle down. You're
Yes.
never gonna have kids. You keep waiting. Um, I think those things play into it,
Yes.
and so we just have to be careful of who we're listening to when we're in
Absolutely.
those situations. And we hear these stories of, I never want anything to do with them. And then the last part I would say about that is there's probably something inside the person that could potentially be a trauma area or an unhealed area. And this person comes along and they play into that role
Yes.
and fill that
Yeah.
need or fill
Absolutely.
that trauma. And then now you have a trauma bond. But that's a whole
A whole
other
nother
session.
call, right?
So, okay, we got a few more questions, and y'all, we are almost at 6:50. So I want to be respectful of your time. I'm not going to keep y'all on here too long. This is an important question. The next one that I've been asked personally, I've had to think about personally, is what are your thoughts on how to maintain a sense of individuality, a sense of knowing yourself inside of a relationship without being seen as maybe the unsubmitted person or selfish, that you need time away with your girlfriends, or I'm going to work on this project without being attached to my husband or my person I'm dating. We can do separate things, we can do things together. But how what are your thoughts on that? How do we maintain who we are without damaging the relationship, but also not losing ourselves in it?
Everything has to have a balance, right?
Okay.
So, Terrence has always been an entrepreneur. I worked when we first got married. So when I came out of work, I was engulfed in being a mom and a wife and helping him with the business. And
Okay.
I would put gym clothes on every day. I was just running the kids back and forth, doing what he needed. So I kind of let myself go a little bit, right? So I got
Mm-hmm.
to a place I wasn't really hanging out with my friends because I was just so focused on my family. And
Mm-hmm.
one day I looked around, I was like, you you got to do something different. Like, so I tell wives all the time, you can be your own person and be a wife, right? So have your own group of friends, have a hobby, start your own. Like if you want to be a business owner, start your own business and let that be your thing. That's your thing that you do. Um, Take me time. My family knows that when I go get my hair and my nails and my feet done, don't call me.
Don't call.
Okay. Because that's really the only time that I get to myself is
Okay.
away from all of them. I turn my phones off. I pay to get a massage twice a month. That's my me time.
Okay.
I make sure that I take Chanel time. And they
Mm-hmm.
know if I'm going to Target. Target means that I'm going for a long time. Nobody call me, okay? There's food
Okay.
here. Dad's here. Don't call me.
Don't.
So I believe
You
that
can make
you have to
it.
take time for yourself and please
Mm-hmm.
have friends and relationships outside of your husband because you just
Mm-hmm.
need girl time sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And it's so interesting because I am a firm believer in marriage. I'm a believer in doing things together. The two shall become one. You leave your mother, father. I am a firm believer in that. And I'm also equally as passionate about the importance of, like you said, having my friend group, having things that I'm looking forward to, because
Yes.
so many people get lost in
Yes.
a relationship.
Yes.
They cut their family off, they cut their friends off, and sometimes it might be
Yeah,
necessary
you
given
might
the
need to.
family you come
Yes.
from, because everybody don't need to be in your relationship.
Yes.
So I'm okay with those kinds of boundaries. And like it's a balancing act. So
It's
you
a
have
balance.
to, and this is a conversation that you're having with the person you're dating, with the person you're married to,
Yes.
that you both make a decision on what does that look like? What are the boundaries like? Um, and how do we respect each other's time?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I make sure he gets his me time too. Let's balance again. He like to go play golf. I make sure his schedule is clear so he can go and do that. So I had to do that for him because he was like, "You selfish. You always want to go somewhere by yourself." Because he want to be right here up under me. I'm not like that. I need go sit on the other side of the couch, honey. Like I don't need to cuddle, but that's my husband's love sign, love language is
okay.
physical touch.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to work on that. But
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes husbands don't all the way get that you're a mom and a wife all the time. Because the dad will
Mm-hmm.
go in the bathroom for like an hour and nobody will interrupt him. But if I go to the bathroom, the house is falling apart.
Right,
And I
right.
can't go sit on my phone for an hour. So I had to show him, hey, go be with your friends so you can see why I do it. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I see now. So that helped him understand my music. So yeah, I just wanted to
Love it.
add that. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. All right. Y'all got any parting questions on that we haven't addressed tonight that you want to ask Miss Shenell? Um, so do you have any parting words of wisdom for singles in this space, in this age? Any parting words of wisdom from you?
I do. Marriage is work every single day. Every single day is work. You have to be intentional about how you say stuff, how you respond to your spouse, how you do everything. It takes a lot of grace and humility and self-reflection. You are gonna self-reflect more than you ever have once you get married. Because God will send you a mirror, right? If you marry the right person, your spouse is gonna be your flaws and his flaws so God can show you yourself and it's going to be vice versa and it will blow your mind that you didn't know you were selfish your whole life until you got
Mm,
married. It's crazy.
wow. Yeah, yeah. And
Everybody always asks for him the next time.
you think Terry's gonna do that? I don't know.
We do it all the time.
Okay, okay. Because he seems so shy.
Terrence, he is
Yes.
believe it or not, I am the shy one. For real.
Y'all,
He
we
is
finna end it so she can
Terrence.
repent. No,
Terrence is very loud and social.
is he?
He's way more social than me. Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
all right. Well, we're gonna have to see because again, they are serial entrepreneurs, so their schedule is really packed. So we want to be respectful of their time. So we'll try to figure out another time. Is there a topic of discussion that
Yeah.
you all want them to be preparing to possibly address? Think about that. But we do have, and I dropped it in the chat already, registration for Monday. On Monday, we're going to be speaking with Miss Jessica Bean, and we're going to be talking about the famous list. Okay, so we're going to talk about this to list or not list. That is the question. Kim says, what does pursuit look like from a male perspective?
Okay.
I'm assuming, right? Okay, so write that down. That's something we can talk about. And make sure y'all go ahead and drop those things. And if after this, you can always still connect with me if there's other things. Angela says she enjoyed both of you. Thank you.
Well,
I'm glad that you were able to come. Like I said, our next chat is going to be on Monday. We're talking about the list, making those list of characteristics and qualities that you want your spouse to have, your mate to have, your God ordained person to have. Then you find the person that lines up to a T. This has happened to me before. Okay. So we're going to talk about this. And this has happened to Jessica. And she's getting married next month. And the person that she's getting married to is not the person that lined up with every single thing on her list. So we're going to talk about that on Monday. So I hope all of you can join us for that. Also, I dropped the links for our books. Those are other ways to continue your pursuit of learning of how to be your best self, how to prepare for marriage as well. I'm also offering a free 15-minute consultation to singles. So I put that link in there if you'd like to get on my schedule in the next couple of weeks. Feel free, get on my schedule. We can talk about what's going on. We can talk about what's holding you back, what you would like to see. I'm also starting a singles group coaching coming up in September, and we're going to talk about those things. And I'm going to give you a relationship readiness assessment. Wow. Some people think they are ready for a relationship, and they are not. So we will be doing a relationship readiness test. We'll be talking about what does the relationship you want, what does that actually look like? And something that I don't think many people know or even discuss, I'm going to be discussing the neuroscience of dating within that coaching program. So those are things other ways to stay in contact and connected with us. Angela said she needs that test. Christina said, thank you, ladies. Enjoyed the entire session.
Wow.
Enjoyed all the questions, the comments. Awesome. CC says, I enjoyed it. Thank you. Well, have her pray for me. What are you talking about, Kim? You need prayer?
You want talking about when you were the lady that's getting married.
Okay. Jessica. Okay. Right. So she's coming on Monday. So we get an opportunity to meet with her. Like I said, I will be advertising that and putting that in our Single and Faithfully Expecting Facebook group. You are all invited to that group. It's on Facebook. It's a private community. Leah is one of my moderators. She helps me moderate the group. We put funny things in there, fun things, prayer requests, informational things, mental wellness, financial information. We try to be available for all of our singles as well. So those are great ways to stay in contact with us. If you have any questions, feel free to connect with me. And I will make sure that Shenell will come back. We will look at her schedule with Terrence and get them back. And then we will continue this. We'll see what else is going on. Stephanie says, thank you so much for your time and doing this webinar.
No problem. Thank y'all for having me. I enjoyed everybody.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Shenell, for taking out time from your busy schedule for being with us. Y'all, we are right at 7 o'clock. So we did it. We did all of this within an hour.
That was good.
This was good.
Even with my 2 pages. That was good. My 2 pages.
Angela says, have a great evening, everyone. Take care.